CFL veteran, Grey Cup champion, joining us from the T-Dot, I assume. Good morning, Shamawd. How are you?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
Good. Are you in Toronto?
Yes, I am. I'm in Toronto right now.
I have a litany of questions for you, Shamawd, but let's start there. You're flipping through cable.
Let's go.
What is the one movie that if it's on, you watch it no matter how many times that you've seen it?
Rush Hour 2. 100%.
Really?
Left field.
I think right now it's a good laugh is important, right? So, Rush Hour 2 definitely be a movie.
When you bust out with a laugh, does it ever feel good? Right now, like it physically feels good because you're so not used to it.
It feels amazing, especially when the sun's shining as well. So, here we've been getting a little bit of sun, so it's been pretty good.
Yeah, good stuff. Well, so can you take me through your life right now, Shamawd, as you train and get ready for another CFL season? How is things in your family's life, your world on day 54, I believe, of the pandemic in North America?
I've been asking everybody what day it's been because it feels like it's been so long. I guess the CFL off season, it's been longer for me this year than it's ever been in the past, definitely. But I think that, being home with my family has been amazing. It's been, I just had a new daughter in September and my first child actually. And, being around her for the amount of time that I have, it's been fun. And I wasn't expecting to be there every single minute of the day. I thought I would have been out working out a little bit more often, but, I just try to get out, run, work out in the backyard and whatnot, and just spend my time with my family as much as possible.
That's good. Well, it's funny you say that. Jorgen Hughes kind of mentioned it last hour. Duron Carter, not so diplomatically, mentioned it a few weeks ago. The football players are kind of built for this, right? I mean, you look to how much you've moved around in your CFL career. You're kind of used to not knowing if you're going to work from year to year, right? So I guess mentally, I'm sure you're fine.
Yeah, I think that when you're going through a football season, there's so many unknowns that can happen. Obviously, you can get hurt. There's different situations where you can get traded. You can run into a lot of different situations. So I think that it kind of builds you to be able to just go with the flow a little bit. And, it's there's so many unknowns. And this is something that no one really knew that would actually end up happening. So, for me, it's just staying calm and waiting for opportunity to come up. And when the opportunities come, you just run with them as fast as you can. And football's taught a lot of us a lot of great lessons when it comes to life and different things along the line. So right now I'm just waiting for everything to pan itself out and go from there.
What is your contract status for 2020?
I'm a free agent. I'm a 31-year-old free agent right now. I think the league has definitely changed a lot, and there's obviously a lot of young guys coming into the league, and obviously being a new father and kind of going through injuries and whatnot. The question is for me right now, especially now that I have the time to think about it, is what's next. So I've been obviously putting myself in situations to use my skills outside of just running routes and catching footballs. Obviously, I want to put myself in a situation where I can do things once I'm done, because those days are coming very, very quickly. As this pandemic is teaching us that life can flip upside down right away. So, right now it's taking it day by day and just going through and talking to family about what I should be doing next and how I should be going about it.
Shamawd, I probably have 67 questions for you, but the one main one is this: you famously held out in 2012,
yes,
after being drafted by the Edmonton Eskimos, and pro football. This was the word in the league. Who the hell does he think he is? Holding out, right? So,
absolutely.
Looking back, was it a good decision or not?
I mean, looking back now, it wasn't a bad decision. I missed rookie camp, and I heard rookie camp was terrible. So I'm kind of happy that I missed that. I think you have to stand your ground. My agent's been a phenomenal agent for me over the course of the last 8 years. He's shown a lot of respect and loyalty to my career, and he felt like there was a stance where I should hold out. And I think another thing that a lot of people don't really know about that is I was waiting to see if there was an NFL opportunity, and you're going to hold on to that opportunity as long as you possibly can. And the negotiations, it is what it is. I was a young Canadian rookie kid. You're going to throw anything at them and see what happens. So it taught me a lot about the business, and I'd never held that again. So it was pretty cool.
Well, it's been a bit of a revolving door in Edmonton since. I want to say, who was running the show there in 2012? Was it Tillman? Who were you dealing with?
I was dealing with Eric Tillman, and Ed Hervey at the time was the head scout. Okay. So I was really speaking with both of them. It's funny because I think that but there's kind of, this was before social media, which is crazy. I feel old just saying that, but there was a lot of communication going back and forth between my representation and Eric, and it didn't seem like it was going too well. And it's funny because when I went back to Edmonton in 2017, he ended up trading for me to come to Hamilton. So, obviously that was water under the bridge. So, and he was obviously the first person to support me as well after when everything happened with Hamilton after the fact. He was literally the first person to call me to ask if he can do anything to help me out. Just let him know. So, it's things happen.
Well, of course. Well, look, those are two guys I know really well, and Eric Tillman and Ed Hervey. Here's what I know about them. One, they know talent, so they knew how good you are. Two, they don't like when you play hardball with them. So I can just imagine how that went. Now, having said that, you won a championship with the Esks in 2015, and then Chris Jones signed you here in 2016. So can you talk a little bit about what Chris Jones did for your career?
I mean, there was a conversation, and it won't be too much of a detailed conversation. In 15, I think that, I was coming off of an injury and a little bit frustrated because I wanted to be more a part of the team like I was the year before. But obviously we had so much talent in 15 on offense. Darrell Walker, Kenny Stafford, Darius Bowman. Obviously we were being led by Mike Riley. Our Canadian depth was amazing. We had Devin Bailey at the time, Nate Coulthorn, Corey Watson, and we were just stacked. So it ended up being a situation where, we won a championship. And when you are around that, you want to continue that. And I think when the phone call came in at noon right away when free agency hit after in 16, Coach Jones had said, we're going to win. So you might as well just come over and play with us. So I actually waited. It's funny. I actually waited until the following day. I was like, okay, I'm going to come. And I waited until the following day because I was like, I don't know how much of a fit because, I'm coming from Toronto and going to Regina. How is he going to feel? And you know what? Like it was a fun experience. It was a tough year, but it was an amazing experience to be able to be in Saskatchewan playing for that team, man. Like the fans are incredible.
Well, once a rider, always a rider. People here haven't forgotten you at all, Shamawd. But you've had a very colorful, decorated career, as I say. And let me say this before I let you go. Well, two things. One, you put on Twitter the other day, if you could tell your younger self one thing, what would it be? What was the most interesting response you had from people?
One person said that I probably wouldn't have that knee surgery that I got in 07. It's a trainer out in Pittsburgh that I met through my trainer, Andy O'Brien. And I was like, damn, I was responding to people and just asking like, hey, like that's pretty good. But then when he said that, I didn't really know what to say to him. So I was just like, yeah, you're probably just right. I'm just going to leave it at that because you're probably not happy with the knee injury. So, that's definitely probably the one response that kind of caught me off guard.
Right. And lastly, Shamawd, because of your dealings with GMs and so forth, have you considered sticking in football past your career, whether it be in the agent game or even coaching? Because obviously you've got a lot to offer younger kids.
I think for me personally, especially what we're going through right now and stuff like that with the league, Canadian football has played a big role in my life, a massive role in my life. There's points in my life where I didn't really have a direction and I just played football, and I met so many coaches through those situations that really changed my life and helped me. And I met a lot of my friends that I still communicate to this day. I would like to be a part of the game. I think that, for me coming through the ranks of Canadian football, I played football in Canada when I was in college, high school, and then obviously as a professional athlete, being able to work with the league would be something that obviously would be fun. I would like to see what it's like to be in the ops. You know what I mean? What does it mean to actually build a team and build a franchise is something that would definitely be something that I'd want to do. Coaching, I don't know, just because of the amount of hours, I want to have time with my family. So I think coaching is kind of crazy, especially when Coach Jones is saying he's getting to the stadium at 4 a.m. and not leaving till whenever time. I don't think that's something that I want to be doing after being a part of football for so long, but I definitely want to do something to build change and have kids that aspire to be a great Canadian athlete, just like I did, to come up in this game and help them develop their game.
I guess I just kind of meant even professional trainer for football type thing. There's so many guys that are doing it in the States now. There's a huge market for one-on-one coaching. I mean, not a position coach or so forth. Shamawd, you're a charm. You will be successful no matter what. Hope to see you on the field sooner than later. Appreciate this, and let's keep in touch.
You too. Appreciate you, Rod. You take care.
CFL veteran Shamawd Chambers joining us from Toronto today. We went a little long, but it was so good. That's why I did.
You're watching Rod Pedersen On Demand. For more of The Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.